Good morning, class.
Good morning, Miss.
Okay, how are you today?
I'm doing, Miss. How are you?
Okay, I'm fine too. So, before we start lesson today, we will better if we pray first. Pray start. Pray and. Okay, student. Before we are going to learn about the materials, the first I would like to check your attendance, please. Mariana,
Present, Miss.
Christina,
Present, Miss.
Evantasia,
Present, Miss.
okay, thank you for your coming. So, student, we are going to explain the material about the recounted. Everybody know what is the recounted?
Yeah, Miss.
Okay, if you don't know what is recounted, I would like to explain the recounted. Okay, recounted for the actually shows two meanings, namely a recount which means the calculating the art as to bet the story of the day past. Depend on the context of the sentence that is used. Okay, and the material time is of course that we discussed was to tell the story the days past, and the following is the explanation. After that, we are going to definition of recounted. In language English, recount is a retelling of event. In other words, recount is a text in the language of English that tell experience or event. Feature and that has been the experience. So, I would like to explain the various kinds of recount text. Recount is divided into three. The first, personal recount. Everybody know what is the personal recount?
No.
Okay. So I would like to explain the personal recount that tells of personal experience in the past. So if you want to write the experience, you can use the sentence and then you use the simple past. Okay, the second, the factually recount is a form of recount that tells facts that have happened in the past. And then the last various kind, the last is the imaginative recount. Namely, recount that is based on the fantasy or imagination. Okay, so we are going to recount the characteristics. Everybody know how many characteristics for recount text?
No, Miss.
Okay, so if you don't know, I would like to explain the characteristics for recount text. Okay, just like other types of recount text, has been to all the characteristics. The first, recount text using the past tense sentence because it tells or conveys or event that has occurred. So if you want to write your experience or your if you want to write the experience, you can use the simple past tense. And then the second, recount text characteristic using the action verb. such as walk, talk, give, visit, in the others. And then recount text the characteristics using the conjunction and time connectives. So the example for conjunction of the when, before, after, and please to string. So the last, use the adverb and adverbial. So if you understand the recount the characteristic, we are going to the text recount function. Okay, the text recount function, because recount text is a kind of text that tells the event or the event that happened in the past. Then the feature of the recount text itself is to draw the attention of the reader and provide the entertainment for the reader. Okay. So the recount text have the social function. For the example, report that the example. And the three, the text structure and include the orientation, concept of event and activities, and the last, the reorientation. And then the fourth, the element of language. Declarative and the interrogative sentence is the simple past. So if you want to write the recount text, you can use the simple past tense. Okay, so and then adverb and pairs personal pointer time. So the recount text use the time is the yesterday, last month, and hour ago. And the time the conjunction adverb. So the first and the time conjunction, you can choose the first, then after that, before, at last, finally, and so on. And then the element of language for recount text, we can noun the singular and plural without the this, review, choose, my, reviews, them, and the others. And then, so the recount text, we can the element of language such as speech, portrait, intonation. And then the last, the topic for recount text. The event experience that occurred at school, home, and then the poster review that or the consignment. So guys, I would like to explain the generic structure recount text. Everybody know what kind of the generic structure recount text?
Not yet, Miss.
Okay, if you don't the generic structure, I would like to explain the generic structure for recount text. So okay, for the first generic structure, the orientation. Then the first orientation. In this first stage, you are asked to provide an introduction in the form of information about who, where, when, and even or incident occurred in the past. So in this section, you are expected to provide the reader with the information necessary to understand the intent of the text. For the example, okay, Mariana, can you read for the example about the orientation?
Okay, Miss. Orientation. It was Sunday, the last December 2016. We all had finished our project, and that was the time to celebrate. We went to Parangtritis Beach. We were 6 and we go there driving a car. We rent a car for a day.
Okay, that's good. So the orientation use the first paragraph. Okay, the second generic structure for recount text even. Okay, even in the second stage, you can convey a narrative the event or even that occurred. You are asked to write a story in the chronological order such as of the first day, on the next day, and the last day. Okay, for the example, Christina, can you read for the example about the event?
Yes, Miss. For the event, actually, there was nothing special from Parangtritis Beach because we had already there for many times. But the beach was the reminder that we had a hard memory. Yes, our friend had gone and never looked back. The purpose of our day off in Parangtritis Beach was to pray for our missing friend.
Okay, that's good. So, the general structure even, you can choose the paragraph 2. Okay, and then the last, the generic structure, we are learning about the reorientation. Okay, the last step in the recount text structure is the reorientation. It is the repetition stage of the introduction that is the first stage. The executing log the summarize all the event of the incident that we were told. In the last step, you can write a summary of all the event or event that we told. So for the example, Evantasia, can you read the example of reorientation?
Yes, Miss. For reorientation, we started at early in the morning to get there. We only needed 45 minutes because the traffic was not too crowded. We trucked some flowers to be sung at the sea. Soon after we arrived at the beach, we took our flowers and brought chairs at the bank of the beach. We breathed deeply and put the flowers into the water. Steadily we saw them slowly going to the middle of the sea and disappeared.
Okay, that's good. Thank you, student. So if you understand what the general structure for the context, and then here I have some example of the context, and I give you the text.
Thank you, Miss.
Read the text now.
Yes, Miss.
So if you finish read the text, okay, I will give you some the question. And then the first question: what are the interesting things on the Kuta Beach? Everybody know the
I
answer?
can answer, Miss.
Okay, Mariana, please.
Uh, Beautiful scenery and beaches suitable for swimming.
Okay, thank you. Yes, the interesting on the Kuta Beach is the scenery and the view. And then, okay, the second question: why they choose the Kuta Beach as their vacation spot? Everybody know? Okay, Fantasia, can you?
Because Kuta Beach is perfect for vacation with family. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yes, that's good. So the three questions: who are the characters in the story? Okay, Christina.
The answer is C and her family.
Okay, yes, that's good. So the character of the story, she and her family. And then the fourth question: when do they go to Kuta Beach?
You can answer, Miss.
Okay, Mariana.
The answer is their month ago was a new holiday.
Okay, that's good. Yes, when they go to the Kuta Beach, the 3 months ago was a New Year holiday. Okay, so the last question: how do they feel after seeing Kuta Beach?
I can answer is
Okay, Sarah, please.
the answer is they feel happy.
Okay, thank you. So yes, they given, and the last or the summary, the story, you can choose the reorientation. Okay, student, I would like to give you assessment, assignment. Okay, you can write your experience, and then if you after the write the experience, you can choose the generic structure for African text. Okay, and then the assignment you can explain the meeting next week, and then everybody have question.
Not yet, Miss.
Okay, so if you don't have a question, I would like to close the materials. Okay, so before we are going to okay, so before we are going to the class, we are going to the pray. Okay, pray start.